Yesterday was all we're apparently gonna get from the Democratic Party as we cruise towards Roe v. Wade being exploded by the conservative Supreme Court. The Dems had a vote to try to codify Roe into law, and it failed. And so I know you're probably thinking, filibuster. They got us with the filibuster. Nope, they didn't even have to do that. All 50 Republican senators and Democratic Senator Joe Manchin opposed the bill to codify Roe v. Wade. So it was a 49-51 vote. The Republicans didn't even have to filibuster it. So that's it, I guess. Schumer tried, and yeah, so I think that's it. Manchin said, he understands obviously this is a very crucial issue. He said it's just disappointing that we're gonna be voting on a piece of legislation which I would not vote for today. But I would vote for Roe v. Wade codification if it was today. My heart breaks for what's gonna happen to all these people. What am I gonna do? Can't do anything, I don't like, there's some stuff in the bill I don't like or whatever. So people's rights are gonna be stripped away, and that's it. If you need me, I'll be on my yacht. Have fun with what you used to have rights-wise, everybody. So Ida, we haven't gotten a chance to talk about this general topic, and now we have, the update of the Senate being completely flaccid in the face of what's going on. What do you make of all this?
Funny that you use the word flaccid, because that is so, applicable to so many of these white elitist men who are targeting, but the thing about it is that when we talk about human reproductive rights, we get really caught up in, which rightfully so, the oppression of women, Gilead being upon us. But there is also there's this thing about keeping poor people down, people of color down, and they use every and any method that they can to do that. And this is one of them because, people barely have health care in this country. Poor people and people who are struggling. We talk about the middle class a lot. There are a lot of people out there who can't even, that being in the middle class is an aspiration for them. And we continue to forget them because we always talk about the middle class. And of course, the elite, they're always at the top of the line. But this is just another way to keep poor people and Black people down, because of course these men can fly their mistresses and their wives when they have unwanted pregnancies and their daughters to wherever they can to go where it is legal. It is the people who cannot afford to go to the doctor to get a physical, the people who cannot afford a private school. You know what I mean? And they have to be subjected to this horrible educational system in this country that they're targeting instead of trying to improve. So when I hear this, I think about the Handmaid's Tale, and I know a lot of people use it because they're, all the intellectuals battle on Twitter about what it really meant. The figurative, perception that we have of it is that women are gonna be oppressed and held down. And so are people of color, Black people and poor people in this country who cannot afford to do the things that the elite can. And that's why this is so unfortunate, because it's just one more target. And we got a lot of racial issues in this country that we cannot ignore. We have a lot of, LGBTQ plus issues. But the reality that there's a class war in this country, and as that gap gets wider, people who don't have basic needs are gonna suffer more. And I'm tired of it.
Yeah, 100%. You're totally right. It's never actually gonna be a ban on everyone. If a rich person, needs their mistress to get an abortion and the nearest place is on the dark side of the moon, they're gonna get there, they're gonna do it, they're gonna have the resources. It's just you that might not be able to. You might not be able to pay for it if it becomes incredibly expensive. You may not be able to drive over 1,000 miles round trip once, or maybe it'll end up being made that you have to go twice to get it done. It will be incredibly difficult, if not impossible, for a lot of Americans, and that's what they're trying to accomplish here. And along the way, we have discovered how few allies we have in fighting back against this. They would have just let them filibuster. They would have. They didn't have to do that because they had Manchin, and if they didn't have Manchin, God only knows which it would have been that would have acted as a shield to stop the Republicans from actually having to filibuster. By the way, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, these are Republicans that said again, their hearts break over abortion rights, but not this bill. I don't like that bill. You had these rights for 50 or 60 years, but I don't like that bill. I don't like the thing that's in it. And so that's gonna be it. And they didn't even support it. Susan Collins, by the way, who is coming off of a week of her having said over the past couple of years that all of these great justices have promised me that they would never allow anything to be done to Roe v. Wade. Oops, they lied to me. Now I'm also gonna vote against the law. There's no contrition, there's no admitting that they were wrong. They're all just moving on, Ida. And we're supposed to do what at this point? Hope that we happen to live in one of the good states on this issue?
It's just disgusting. We live in a country that prides itself in being the greatest country in the world, which is foolishness. But isn't it weird that in this country that's supposed to be so advanced and so civilized that people of color, Black people, women, LGBTQIA people have to still in 2022, when we have cars that drive themselves, fight for basic human rights in this country? And I believe abortion is a personal choice. Whatever your religion is, I think you have the right to have one and the right not to have one. And it is not my job to tell you what you can and cannot do based on my personal beliefs. Just like I don't tell anybody how to live their lives in any other, part of their lives. But it's so disgusting that people have to fight. And these are the same people who are attacking the educational system. They're the same people who are attacking healthcare. They're getting checks by these corporations. These are the same people who do not give a damn about these kids after they're born. It is just a talking point, like every other talking point, like critical race theory, just like that riles up a base of people who don't have basic education to continuously keep them on the hook because they just want their votes, because their votes generate money for them from their corporations. And I wish people really understood this, because I don't hate people who are conservative. I don't hate people who have different beliefs than me. I just hate the fact that a lot of them are being manipulated because they don't have the benefit of a good education and the information to be able to make good decisions about their own lives. And that's so sad, John. It's so sad.
Yeah, they're deluded and they become active participants in the delusion. And if you're like our audience, especially the audience that watches live, I mean, these are people that are really tapped in. They consume stuff every day. Like, it is amazing that any of you are not out of your goddamn mind from what you have to absorb every day. That you have to be out there in like 1 week of news cycles and listen to all these people on Twitter talking about like, I am sick of not being free. I need Elon Musk. He's gonna make me free. He's gonna let me tweet the N-word. I'll finally be free. And then a woman says, hey, I was just raped by my uncle. I don't wanna give birth to the product of my uncle raping me. Shut up, shut up. We're gonna lock you in a room. We're gonna tie you to a bed. We're gonna force you. The power of the government is gonna force you to do that. And then we're gonna shut the door on that. And then, come on, just let me tweet about QAnon more. Let me lie about vaccines. I'm not free. And you have to absorb that every day. And you're made to be insane at the ridiculous hypocrisy, at the outright lies. We're gonna get to more of their lies about where this is going in just a little bit. But it's difficult, year after year after year, when you're gaslit in like simultaneously from dozens of different directions. From the right, sure, from the media, but also from most of the Democrats and from people that you were raised to told perhaps that you should be able to trust. You're just gaslit by literally everybody.
And it's just how you walking about the earth being a woman with all of the complexities of being a woman, because we get discriminated against if we're gay, we get discriminated against if we're Black, we get discriminated against. They find a reason, the people who hate women and want to keep women down find any and every reason to hold them down. But it's just a fact of walking about the earth knowing that they want to penalize, they focus so heavily on women having reproductive rights, more than they do even the men who violate the women. And that is so, it's such a slap in the face to us, because we see people who are perpetrators of sexual assault and pedophilia on a daily basis get off and just be able to walk about the earth. But you want to criminalize my right to my body. And that is just, that's so backwards. It is so backwards.
It is, like you said, we have self-driving cars. It's 2022. Every year I get to discover more ways that I have been throughout my life so stupid. Like as a kid, I'm like watching Star Trek and thinking like, someday that'll be us. We'll get past all this economy stuff and we'll all just pursue our passions and reach the stars. That was me at 17. And no, it's only going to get worse and dumber. The images on the screens will be higher definition, but what you'll see on those screens will drive you mad.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.